we are going to introduce about the three mainly promising issues and technology of biology. This is our index of content. First, iPSC. 3 years ago, the Japanese scientists discovered the new method of differentiating stem cells. Second, cancer. This is the most common and #1 cause of death in Korea. So doctors and scientists are working hard to solve the cancer issues. Third, biomimetics. This is one of 10 future technologies that KAIST picked for. Then, first of all, I'm going to talk about iPSC. This is the index of what I'm going to talk about. I'm going to, first of all, previous method and what is iPSC, and finally, recent research. Before beginning to start, let's talk about the movie Island. This movie shows the concept of human cloning and stem cell. This time, I want to take a closer look at the stem cell. First, let's begin with the previous method. Stem cell is an undifferentiated biological cell, which means that it can differentiate it into any specialized cell. There are two broad types of stem cell. First, adult stem cell. This stem cell can be extracted from adult cell, but it's hard to utilize because this cell already developed. The other is embryonic stem cell. We can extract it from early stage of embryo, which means baby cell, but it has ethical issues. So we need an innovative and progressive method, which is iPSC. Then, let's see what is iPSC. iPSC means induced plurified stem cell. Induced means we force it to do it, and plurified means many. Let's see the mechanism of iPSC. First, the adult cell. We can measure the adult cell by treating some material, and we can induce the iPSC. By iPSC, we can materialize it so we can make exactly same man, same tissues, and same organ. And finally, let's see recent study. In 2012, Shinya Yamanaka, Japanese scientist, won a Nobel Prize in physiological medicine area. In Korea, the professor of KAIST, Han and the professor of Seoul National University, Kim Bin-neri, are trying to find out the mechanism of iPSC. And many doctors and scientists are trying to solve these iPSC problems. And next presenter will talk about the next promising issues of biology.
Okay, let me introduce our second topic, cancer. Especially, I'm going to talk about new method of curing cancer. Before we go on, I'll briefly introduce what I'm going to say about. First, I will explain why I chose cancer as my topic among many biological issues. Second, let me introduce previous method of curing cancer because we can compare it with following new method. And next, I will talk about new method, targeted cancer drug and robots that can remove cancer cells. Okay, now let's talk about cancer. Today, we have lots of interest in cancer. So many researches are going on all over the countries today. Especially, Korean medical researchers are working very hard. Why? Here are interesting statistics. According to Ministry of Health and Welfare of Korea in 2012, cancer is the most case that make Korean people die. 146.5 in 100,000 people die because of cancer. Its rate is about 3 times as much as that of cerebrovascular disease and heart disease. And another graph says that the death rate is growing as time goes on. Isn't it a serious problem? So I chose cancer as my topic. So, how can we remove cancer? The main point is to kill cancer cells. Like this guy, we usually take in anti-cancer drug these days. But there is a problem. Let's look at inside this body. This is a drug, and the cancer cell holds normal tissue. The drug will affect both of them. This is a serious problem. Anti-cancer drug also kills normal cells. To solve this problem, targeted cancer drug is invented. Let's assume this is a cancer cell. There are some components that are made by cancer cells when they proliferate. Targeted cancer drug can detect and attack them, so it can kill cancer cells selectively. Therefore, targeted cancer drug can prevent normal cells from dying. By saving normal cells, patients are likely to have less side effects than by using previous method. And next, let's move on to robots that can remove cancer cells, which is relatively new method. Basic principle is simple. If robots are injected to blood vessel, they will find cancer cells and just kill them. To say the strength of this method, the robots can make local treatment. That is, robots will make much more smaller wound than by cutting the abdomen open. So, side effect and complicating disease rarely occur. And old people don't have to worry about some danger. Here is a case of using this robot. Medical researchers in Korea University Hospital found out that using robot to cure rectal cancer result in higher survival rate, about 83%, and that of cutting method, about 72.8%. Through this case, we can say that using robots is quite a good method to cure cancer. However, there are some problems of previous two methods. One of the most biggest problem is that it is very expensive for patients to pay for these therapies because the materials are too expensive. Researchers need to work hard to reduce cost. So far, I introduced two new methods to cure cancer. And next, Hyun, we are going to talk about biomimetics.
Last, I want to introduce you guys about biomimetics. I guess many of you guys may heard about biomimetics because we are in science technology institution. But actually, many people is unfamiliar with this terminology. So this is index for my presentation. And so exactly what is biomimetics? Many of you guys can say it depends, but there are important property biomimetics should not miss. It is kind of design inspired by nature. So by Wiki, it defines the biomimetics that it is imitation of models, systems, and elements of nature. But it is for the purpose of solving complex human problems. So to some, it is imitation of nature for human problems, and as you can see in definition, biomimetics is not so hard to try, but its own nature for humanities developed from imitation. I think many of you guys see this picture. It is as famous as many masterpieces, which is drawn by Da Vinci, known as famous artist, but also good at science. So it is most common and easiest example for biomimetics we can find out in historical memory. And many scientists develop biomimetics, especially these two scientists. For example, Otto Herbert conceptualized early biomimetics and Jenny made terminology biomimic. So Jenny said that the term biomimic appeared as early as 1982, popularized by scientists and others. So how about biomimetics in today? Biomimetics applicate in many areas in many ways. There are some famous examples of product technology including biomimetics. First is glue, inspired by lizard as known as gecko's foot surface. This lizard can be held on any walls or surface by special force as known as Van der Waals force. Scientists use this principle to make special glue. Also, biomimetics can use in display. Scientists make reflective display that display color and stuff evenly, not depend on degree. They develop this technology by specific butterfly's wing. Also, they make discrete crystal panel inspired by honeycomb. And biomimetics also make us to expect their future. Recently, biomimetics concentrates on producing realistic robots with new technology like 3D printer. Like this ant robot. For reference, 3D printer is any of various processes used to make a 3D object. So this is our one future expected biological technology. Biological area is developed in very dramatic way and still promising bright future. I am sure that this promising biological technology will make big difference in science, technology, and society.